My name is Mark Sullivan. I'm a team lead for the InteropNet. Been working on this project probably for 5 or 6 years now. My responsibilities this year are to help deploy the wireless network. And our objectives this year at Interop is to provide a completely solid wireless experience for every end user in this environment. One of the particular challenges that we have, in a dynamic environment is normally when you set up a wireless network, you go out and you take a survey, and the environment doesn't change too terribly much, on a day-to-day basis. Well, at Interop, things are extremely dynamic. First of all, the environment may have changed from the last time that we performed the show, so we have to take a site survey every single year. Beyond that, we're going to do some new things. We're offering, 802.11n for everybody. We're really excited to see how that performs across the show. We're using the Xeris gear this year. So what's really nice from a deployment standpoint is we have a lot of radios, consolidated into one area, so it helps to cut down. One of the challenges that we have with wireless density, obviously, is how many people can we associate to each radio? The Xeris equipment has various different form factors that we can deploy so that we can match the cell size for the environment that the end users are going to be in. We have form factors ranging from 4 radio arrays all the way up to 16 radio arrays. One of the particular challenges that we have is especially when we're doing the keynote area. We have a high density of people using their BlackBerries or PDAs, their iPhones. They might have their little netbooks and maybe engaging in those types of short bursty traffic. So how do you handle that? Another thing that we're trying to make sure that we do is provide the roaming users. If you have a phone that uses UMA, you should be able to walk through the entire facility from one end to another and not have a dropped call, throughout that. How do you push people from to encourage them to use the 5 gigahertz space? How do you encourage people to, with equipment that doesn't support 5 gigahertz? How do you get everybody to work together nicely to be able to, have a successful wireless experience? And that's part of the challenges of Interop, and that's what we're trying to figure out in a highly dynamic environment is how do you sort that out? One of the things that we've done this year is made the decision not to offer anything in the 2.4 gigahertz spectrum on the exhibition hall floor. We've been working on trying to make that work in this environment for over 7 years, and ultimately when we come in and actually deploy and we have an empty hall, it's extremely successful. But there is a lot of RF interference that gets introduced into the environment as we're building out the exhibition halls. Things like, the low pressure mercury lights that get turned up to full brightness for the show. Those have an impact on that. You have all of the lapel gear and all of the booth announcer gears that just creates a wireless soup in this environment. And we've just finally made the decision that, based on the low performance that you receive out of that, it's just not an environment that's conducive. And part of the reason is you don't own the environment. In your organization, when you're deploying wireless, you have a lot of control over the things that you can do. With an exhibition hall and the exhibitors that come in and set up their equipment, you're competing for that radio space. Last year we saw something like 320 separate wireless access points on the show floor, and just trying to compete in that space, we've just found that that's going to be an unsatisfying experience for the end user, and for that reason we've just decided that the 2.4 gigahertz range and the B&G ranges just aren't going to work for us. So this year what we're going to try to do is encourage people to use the 5 gigahertz range, 802.11a and 802.11n at 5 gigahertz. And we're reasonably certain that we're going to have a high degree of success. First of all, we're not going to be competing with as many vendors because a lot of them are going to be still using the B&G. And also, we don't have the overlapping channels issues with 802.11a. So, we're looking forward to see how that performs. Now, off show floor or in the area where they're doing the education, we'll be offering everything. You'll be able to do 802.11a, B, G, and N, both the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz range. And in addition to that, we'll be also offering open and WPA2 pre-shared key. So look around for the signage and log on. Let us know how it works.